अल्लाह ही अल्लाह किया करो दुख न किसी को दिया.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters. Today I'm going to tell you a story which we should all be awestruck by. This is the story of a Sahabi who lived as a warrior, walked as a warrior, and died as a warrior. This is a conqueror, a commander, and a warrior who crushed the superpowers of his time. He crushed the Persian Empire, the Romans. He conquered Iraq, Iran, Armenia, Jordan, Syria, and Sham. The undefeated commander, conqueror, ruler, the swords from the swords of Allah. This is the story of Khalid ibn al-Walid. Khalid ibn Walid, the undefeated warrior. It is said that he was equal to 1,000,000,000 men. The very man, the prince of Persia, would praise him. The priests of Byzantine would praise him. The man who broke 9 swords in a battle. The very man that the Messenger ﷺ gave him a title. The man that Umar radiallahu anhu praised. The man Abu Bakr praised. The man Allahu Akbar, who was undefeated in 100 battles, was undefeated in 100 battles, who was undefeated in 100 battles. This is the reason the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, don't say anything about Khalid ibn Walid. Why? Because he is the sword of the swords from Allah. This is why Abu Bakr would say, today is the day that no woman will give birth to the likes of Khalid ibn al-Walid radiallahu anhu. This is why Umar radiallahu anhu would say he was indeed a commander. This is why his mother would say that he was better than 1,000,000 men, even when their faces were downcast. In the Battle of Mu'tah, the Muslims are 3,000, the enemy are 200,000. Picture this in your minds. Zayd ibn Harith radiallahu anhu has the flag in his hand. They overpower him. He drops. The Muslim didn't lose hope, as Allah has said, those who are slain in the path of Allah, they are alive, and Allah sustains them. Without any hesitation, Ja'far radiallahu anhu grabs the flag. They overpower him. He drops to the ground. Second commander down. The Muslims still had hope. Abdullah ibn Rawaha radiallahu anhu takes the flag and he dashes. The enemy overpower him and he drops. This is the third commander. The Muslims have no commander, no leader, no general. They still believed in Allah and he was sustaining those who had passed. Who is it to be the new leader? Sayyid ibn Arqamah takes the flag and looks at Khalid bin Walid and gives it to him. Now comes the undefeated warrior, rearranging the whole army, dashing on the battlefield. The enemies thought they could deal with Khalid bin Walid the same way they dealt with the previous generals. He smashed through whatever's in his way. He takes the first sword, breaks it, takes the second, breaks it. The enemy's fighting him. He takes the third sword, breaks it. He strikes and the fourth sword shatters. He takes the fifth, breaks it. He takes the sixth and the seventh and then the eighth, and all of them have broken. He finally takes the ninth and it breaks. From that day was when the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ gave him the title, the Sword of Allah. In this battle he broke 9 swords, but the true sword was never broken. In a battle with the Romans, he levels up with the Roman general. The Roman general says he'll give the Muslim army anything and everything. But Khalid bin al-Walid looks him in the eye and says, "You fool, we didn't come here because we want your stuff. We have come here to drink your blood. As we have heard, the blood of the Romans is sweet." This is Khalid bin al-Walid. This is the sword of Allah. In a battle with one of the superpowers, there's a storm, but this was a person on horseback. Can anyone guess who this was? He was dressed all in black, face covering, with a sword and shield, dashing towards the enemy, striking them one by one. One of the companions say he's fighting like Khalid bin al-Walid radiallahu anhu, but it's not him. Who could it be? He levels up with this person and says stop. This person stops. He asks him, "Who are you?" "I'm Khawla. I'm the sister of Dirar. My brother has been captured and I fight to free him." Khalid radiallahu anhu lets the sister fight with them to free her brother. This is the sword of the swords of Allah. Khalid bin Walid is on the front line, and all of a sudden the Roman general looks at him, levels up with him, and charges towards him. He gives eye contact and says, "Tell me the truth, for the noble don't deceive. Is it true that Allah the Almighty sent down a sword from the heavens to your Prophet, and he gave it to you, and as soon as you unleash it, you destroy?" Khalid radiallahu anhu says no. The Roman general knew this was the undefeated leader, warrior, general, and commander. So he asked him, "What do you want me to do?" Khalid radiallahu anhu wisely replied, asking him to say the Shahada. The Roman asks, "What if I disagree? Pay the payment of jizya. If I disagree, face the sword." The Roman commander says the Shahada, and Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu leads him in his first and last salah. Then they take off towards the enemy lines. The enemy see that their general has turned against him and kill him. His soul is extracted. The emperor hears of the news. He sent a spy to check on the Muslims. He wondered how these Muslims were so small in number yet so strong. The spy reports, "By night they're like monks, by day they're like warriors. I swear I'd rather be in the belly of the earth than battle such people," the emperor replies. Khalid bin Walid writes to the Persian Empire, "Before destroying them to bits, accept Islam and you'll be safe, or pay the payment of jizya and you'll be under our protection. If you disagree, we know men who desire death the same way you desire life. This is the sword of Allah." In the Battle of Yarmouk, the opponents of such a massive army, his companions would say, "Wow, such a massive army." Khalid radiallahu anhu, this quote should specifically be scripted in gold. He says, "The victory lies not in the number of men, but in the help of Allah." This is Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu. Why? Because one battle he is informed, the enemy will poison you if you don't give in. Khalid radiallahu anhu requested to see this poison. The poison is brought before him, and subhanallah, he takes it, recites a dua, and drinks the poison. No effect is taken upon Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu, the sword of the swords of Allah. It is said that Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu said he likes it more on the battlefield than his wedding day. He understood that Allah has said that you are the best of nations, to have been raised for mankind, to enjoy what is good and forbid what is evil. This is why he was known for conquering. This is why he was known for fighting. This is why he was known for defeating his enemy. This is why he was the undefeated general, the undefeated fighter, the undefeated ruler. This is why he was known for his ploy, his plan of attack, his technique, and his leadership. This is why he broke 9 swords in a battle. This is why the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Bakr and Umar radiallahu anhu praised him. This is why he had the conqueror of Islam. Same way the Romans had Caesar, the Macedonians had Alexander, and the French had Napoleon, and the Chinese had Shang. If this is the commander, the warrior, the general, and conqueror, why are the youth of today mentioning Ronaldo, Messi, Ronaldinho? Why are people talking about some UFC boxer? Why are we still trying to be like them? They don't want to be like you. Why take one of these people as your role model, when you can take Khalid ibn Walid radiallahu anhu as a role model? When it comes to the likes of the Sahaba, none of us have the leg to stand on. But when it comes to Ronaldo, Anthony Joshua, Messi, Bolt, etc., day in, day out, we will know everything about them. But when it comes to Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu, people have no legs to stand on. When he gets old, the story ends. Umar radiallahu anhu, in his reign of being Khalifa, didn't let him participate in the battles due to age. This is also Allah's will. But Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu takes it upon himself to memorize all 30 juz of the Quran. He succeeded in doing so. In his deathbed, he asked, why did I not die in a battle? I died the same way a camel dies. His companion says, tell me, how can you die in a battle when you are the sword of Allah? And if you had died in battle, that would mean the sword of Allah has shattered, and that could never happen. Jazakallahu khairan for listening to part 1 and part 2. Hope you enjoy it, and please like and subscribe and share. Jazakallahu khairan, and also make sure to press the notifications bell so you never miss out on a story. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.